Hello everyone, how are you today? The speaker is Mr. Ayad Abdelamir Hassan, English teacher at Rashid University College. Student, today I am going to talk about two simple subjects. The first one, comparative and superlative adjectives. The second one is what plus like. We will see. So we should know the using of comparative and the using of superlative. Here we can use comparative to compare one thing, one person, or one action with another. For example, I can compare between two persons or two things or two actions. For example, Ahmed is bigger than Ali. Okay? Or Tom is bigger than Sarah. We can say also James is clever than his sister. But with superlative, we use superlative to compare somebody or something with the whole class or whole group. For example, I have a clever student, so I should say when I want to compare him with the all student or with the all class, I should say that, for example, his name Ahmed. Ahmed is the cleverest student in the class. Here I have some notes when we use short adjective or adjectives that end with y or adjectives that end with or that end with two syllables or more, or irregular subject, irregular adjectives, and so on. So if I have short adjective, in comparative I should add er. In superlative I should add est. For example, cheap, cheaper, cheapest. Small, smaller, smallest. Big, bigger, biggest. Here is the comparative and here is the superlative. With adjectives that end in y, we should delete y and add ier in comparative, iest in superlative. For example, funny, funnier, funniest, early, earlier, earliest, heavy, heavier, heaviest. Okay? Now, adjective end with two syllables or more. I mean that in the adjective there is more than vowel. For example, careful. In the comparative, more careful. But in superlative we should add most careful. Boring. In the comparative, more boring. Superlative, most boring. In the irregular adjective, for example, far, good, bad, and so on, we should use different situations. For example, far, farther in the comparative, farthest in the superlative. Good, it will become better in the comparative and best in the superlative. Bad, it will become worse and worst in the superlative. Also, we have short adjective plus one consonant. One consonant, I mean, this is the vowel, okay, and this is the consonant. Now I have one consonant after the vowel. So we will double the consonant. For example, big in the comparative, it will become bigger, but in the superlative, it will become biggest. Hot, hotter in the comparative, hottest in the superlative. Fat, fatter in the comparative, fattest in the superlative. Also, we can use than. Than is often used after a comparative. For example, I am younger than you, or Ahmed is bigger than his brother. James is clever than her sister. We use much sometimes with comparative. Much can come before the comparative to give emphasis. It means sure. For example, she is much nicer than her sister. She is much nicer than her sister. Okay? Also, we use the when we express about the superlative. That is used before superlative adjectives. Okay? Before the superlative adjectives. For example, here we used than after the comparative, but we will use the before the superlative adjectives. For example, he is the funniest boy in the class, or he is the cleverest boy in the class. We can use as and the adjective and as shows that something is same or equal. For example, Jim is as tall as Peter. So they are equal in the tall. But not as or not so as shows that something is not the same or equal. For example, she isn't as tall as her mother. She isn't as tall as her mother. So maybe she is shorter than her mother. Okay? Or another example, my car wasn't so expensive as you. My car wasn't so expensive as your cars. Here I used so and adjective and as. After that, I use your for the another or for the another person or another thing. Here I mean that my car wasn't so expensive yours. I mean that my car is cheaper than yours. Okay? Now, I have finished the subject of comparative and superlative adjective. Now I will talk about what plus like. We can use WH question like what and like in the end to ask about. We will see about what. Here is this is the rule. What plus one of the verb up to be plus subject plus like. What and like in the end means describe something. Describe someone or something. Tell me. It means tell me about them. I don't know anything about them. So we can use what plus like in the end means describe someone or something, but we don't know anything about them. For example, what's James like? I don't know what's James. So the speaker will answer me. He is intelligent and kind. Okay? And he has got lovely blue eyes. Now, the listener tell me about the shape of Jane. So he described Jane. Okay? Here, like in this question is preposition, not verb. Pay attention. Like in this question is preposition, not verb. But in this question we will see what does James like. Here, like is verb. Okay? I will answer. He likes playing football. Here I ask it. What does James love? Okay, or like? Answer me, the speaker. He likes playing football. Like in this question, I told you is a verb, not preposition. I have not to tell you. Sometimes we ask about the health of the person. I will use how. How is your father? Okay. I ask it about the health. It doesn't ask about description. Be careful. Okay, pay attention about this note. Sometimes I use how to ask about health. For example, how's your father? I ask about the health. I don't ask it about, I don't ask about description, or this question doesn't ask about description. Okay, how is your father? He is very well, thank you. And thank you for your listen. Follow me in the next video. I will explain this subject in Arabic language.